All right, course 2, we are on lesson 76 right now. And our lesson has to do with complex fractions. Complex just means kind of complicated. And you see we've got a fraction for a numerator with a fraction for a denominator. Now, if you try to type this into your calculator as 3 ABC 5 ABC 2 ABC 3, it will not like that. You'll get some kind of error. So what we have to think about is, what does that bar line mean? Well, it means to divide. It's 3/5 divided by 2/3. And how do we divide fractions without a calculator? You might remember KFC. Keep the first fraction the same. Flip the second fraction. Change the sign to multiplying. And then 3 times 3 is 9, and 5 times 2 is 10. Reduce the fraction if you possibly can. Can't do it here. Okay, so that's how we would do it. Now, of course, you've got a calculator. You could just punch that in. Just remember, it won't work with ABC, 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 ABC. It will not work. You're going to have to go 3/5 divided by 2/3. Now, what about another type of problem, such as 25 2/3 over 100? Again, a complicated fraction, mixed number over 100. Well, this is nothing more than 25 2/3. Remember, that means divide by 100. Now, you could just punch that into your calculator the way it is, 25 2/3 divided by 100, or I don't have a calculator, so I'd have to do it the old-fashioned way. Mixed number, 3 times 25 is 75, plus 2, 77 over 3 divided by 100. And dividing is same as, KFC. Keep, flip, 1 over 100, change multiplying. And so now I have 77 over 300. Reduce that if you possibly can. I don't think you can, though. And what if we had something like this? 25 over 7 1/3. And again, ABC is not going to work. 25, ABC 7, ABC 1, ABC 3, not going to work. So it's 25 divided by, remember that means divide by, 7 1/3. Now you could just punch that in your calculator. Don't have a calculator, so I'm going to do it the long way. 25 over 1, this would become 22 over 3. Dividing by a fraction, the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. Keep the first, flip the second, change the sign to multiplying, and I end up with 75 over 22. And your calculator is going to do all this for you, but I don't have the calculator. 22 goes into 75 3 times, and that, I believe, leaves me with a remainder of 9 over 22. I did that in my head, so hopefully that's correct. You could double check me on a calculator. So today's practice problems. Letter A, we have 37 1/2 over 100. So that would be 37 1/2 divided by 100. You can punch it in this way, hit equal, boom, you got it. But going the long way around, this would become 75 over 2. And this is 100 over 1. Flip the second fraction. Change it to multiplying. So 75 over 200. And then reduce that fraction. If we divide by 5, we get 15 over 40. Divide by 5 again, I'd get 3/8. That is letter A. Letter B, 12 over 5/6. So that becomes 12 divided by 5/6. That's a 12 over 1. KFC, keep the first, flip the second, change it to multiplying. That would be 72 over 5. Calculator is going to automatically spit this out for you. 5 goes into 7 one time, and then that's a 22, so 4 2/5, I believe, 14 2/5, and that is correct. Could I put 14.4? Well, since it's a fraction problem, you really should go with a fraction answer. I'm not going to mark it wrong, but Fraction problem, fraction answer. Decimal problem, decimal answer. Just makes sense. Moving on to letter C, and we have 2/5 divided by 2/3. So 2/5 divided by 2/3. You can use your calculator, or 2/5, flip the second fraction, change it to multiplying. I see the 2's can cancel, and I end up with 3/5. Letter D, 66 2/3%. Well, remember, percent means out of 100. So 66 2/3 over 100, which means divide by 100. And again, you can punch this in your calculator, but doing it the long way, this would end up with 200 over 3. And then dividing, same as multiplying, by the reciprocal, 1 over. I can do some canceling, and you see it comes out to be just 2/3. 66 2/3%, you might have already known that, is the fraction 2/3, and vice versa. Letter E, 8 1/3%. Percent means out of 100, or dividing by 100. So 8 1/3 divided by 100. This becomes 25 over 3 times the reciprocal. We can do a little canceling, 25 and 25, and that would be a 4. 1 times 1 is 1. 3 times 4 is 12. So 8 1/3% is 1/12. Letter F, 4 1/6%. So 4 1/6 divided by 100. That becomes 25 over 6 times 1 over 100. Cancel. 1 times 1 is 1, and 6 times 4 is 24. 1/24. And then letter G, which properties let us do all this stuff? I'll just tell you what those are. Inverse property and identity property. Inverse and identity is what lets us do this. In your assignment, you can cross out 1B as in boy. And then if you have any questions on your 1 to 30, you will have to try to contact me. You've got my phone information. So that is it for today's lesson. Hope you are staying nice and warm today.